Hello folks and welcome back. Today we are going to go back to something we did a while ago called dynamics. Now a lot of people actually have just started up doing the drum lessons, doing the weekly videos and the lessons at the end of the week, and it's definitely working so much better, it really is. So if you're just doing the weekly videos and you do want to find a slot to do drum lessons on a Thursday or a Friday, please email me or text me or let me know and I'll get you fitted in, okay? But if you've come along and you haven't done these, say 10 weeks ago or 8 weeks ago when we started these, I'm going to just do a quick recap of the last video and then we're going to move on to a new thing afterwards, and I'm going to show you some examples, okay? Because it's one thing kind of learning what it is you have to do, but it's another thing whenever you have to work out how to put it into practice. So how would you use that when you're playing drums? Like, it's, oh yeah, I know how to do doubles, I can do triples, I can do these different things and flams, but if you don't know where to use them or how to use them, it's kind of pointless really, isn't it? So I'm going to watch the last video, go through that again, and then I'm going to show you some examples of what dynamics really mean in an everyday kind of setting. Alright, let's go. So, great group, we'll get stuck into it and let's work on dynamics. Dynamics, yeah!
Alright lads, what's cracking at them?
So, we're going to be doing dynamics. Alright, so dynamics are about bringing the volume up and down and the attack up and down on the drums, which can make a huge difference to what's happening in a song, okay? If you played a song just like a robot, there'd be no feel, there'd be no heart and soul in the song. So if you just played the whole way from the start going da 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 da. Okay, chorus. Da 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 da. Build up. Da 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 da. It's just like snore fest. So you use dynamics and that builds parts of the songs up and it lowers parts down as well, okay? I love dynamics because it doesn't just have to be like a movement, it doesn't have to be the whole way through the song the dynamics change. It can be in the actual drum beat itself, the dynamics can make such a difference. So if you look at, for example, what I have on the snare drum here, what I'm going to do is just play single strokes, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, okay? I'm going to turn the mic towards the snare so hopefully you can hear it a little bit better, and I'm going to put the camera down towards the snare so you can see what I'm doing as well, okay? Let's do that now. Okay, so if I have the snare drum just playing single strokes, 1, 2. What I can do to change that is by playing one of them louder, for example, and the rest of them softer. So I can go. Okay? Then if I try the first one louder and the third one louder, the second and fourth will be quiet. Okay? This time I'll try and play a little bit faster. See this rhythm? If I double that up, I'll try the... You can hear that sometimes there's a little bit of more dynamic, so it creates a rhythm. So if I just play single strokes like this, nice and fast, I'll try and use dynamics and you can hear a rhythm emerging. Now, I'm not going to be playing twice with one hand or more times with any other hand. I'm just doing single strokes. But by playing some of them louder and some of them softer, you can create a rhythm. So all I've done is played some louder, some are softer, and I've created this. It sounds like that, but it's all I'm still just doing sixteenths. Okay, so that's one use of dynamics. The next thing you can use is to use what's called a build-up. Now, build-up is where you start something soft and you can build it up. You'll see sometimes a lot of drummers doing this, where they'll have one hand on the snare drum, one hand on the floor tom, this one here, and they'll be using the bass drum, and they'll play all three at the same time. And the song gets louder and it lifts it to a certain point of what they're trying to get to in the song. If we just do it on the snare drum, I'm going to try and keep it at the same speed but make it louder. Now this is harder than it seems. A lot of people seem to put faster and louder together, but that's not what you want to happen. You want it to either be faster or louder. You'd very really want the two of them happen at exactly the same time. And if you do want them at the same time, you want to be able to control it. You don't want it to just be what happens, okay? You want to have total control on what you're doing. So, now that got louder. Now I'm hoping that the video and the microphone's working and you can hear that it gets louder. But it almost gives the effect of speeding up, but it's not. It's staying at the same speed. And of course, the one way to get that right is to use your metronome. So, let me load up my metronome here on my phone. Here we go. Put it the 4/4 time, boy. Alright, so let's go. Let's put that down here. Maybe here. You can hear it better. So, what I had there was, I had the simple 4/4 beat, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I was going from softer to louder to softer. Now, a technique that works for me, now everyone's different, but I'm obviously just giving you my advice and the way I play it, is I like to play with my hands to the top of the snare, because you do get a different sound in different parts of the snare, but normally if I'm doing a build-up, I'll start it here, and start it low, and then as I get louder, my hands will move higher up. Now, it just gives me the feel of it opening up, okay? So, and I'll move my hands from the top sort of more towards the middle, and instead of playing with my hands quite close and quiet, my hands will do bigger movements until the very end when my arms are doing bigger motions. Now, my arms will have to move faster, obviously, because I want the speed to stay the same. If I wanted to speed up, I might even move my arms like closer together, so. For the likes of my players rolls, okay? So that's just building it using dynamics. So that's really the number one thing I want you to try and practice is your dynamics. But the next part is going to be kind of cool. So this is the next session or the next part of the video, and it's using dynamics but practically using them in a way you will always use them when you're playing drums. Let's move on. So we're going to use the dynamics to create a rhythm. So for example, if you remember paradiddles, they go right, left, right, right, left, right, left, left. So you could use your paradiddles but only play with the double being loud. So create a rhythm that way. Or you can use the same effect to sound like a paradiddle but only by playing single strokes. So that would be, you'd make the 1, 2 quiet, the 3, 4 loud, 5, 6 quiet, 7, 8 loud. So okay, so using dynamics you can create a rhythm. So all I want you to do is start off simply using 16ths. 1 E and 2 E and now you can use your metronome or not, it's totally up to you, guys, okay? I would advise maybe trying it without the metronome and then trying it with the metronome because it's a bit more of a challenge. So 16th notes. Let me just point the camera or the microphone towards it. Oh, you can see the microphone. Now, if I play that fast, it's a proper wee shuffle. Wee shuffle, hey, bye. Like the country, hey, Western, hey. Here you go, Uncle Hugo Duncan. Here we go, bye. A horse and in the air, something, yeehaw! So, using dynamics, you can create all these different things. So, it's totally down to you guys. Ow, that really hurt. It's totally down to you guys. Feel free. Have as much fun as you possibly can making up these little shuffles and rhythms, and I can't wait to see some of the things you guys come up with. So again, alright, so that's kind of our recap of dynamics and that video we did a good number of weeks ago now, okay? So what we want to do is work on that. I'm going to show you just in a minute here a little technique to do, but it's all about using dynamics, and it's also about using feel and accents, which is something we have talked about before, but it's one thing kind of learning it, and implementing it is something totally different. Okay, so watch this and have a try with this. With them. I'm going to show you this, for example. So just say we were playing in a rock gig. Okay, we're at a rock concert, and rock music is really kind of like loud and punchy and fast and full of energy and really fun. Okay, and especially if you know me, I love a bit of myself rock. Sort of punk rock, heavy metal, that's the kind of music I love. I mean, I love all types of music, don't get me wrong. There's definitely a time and place to sit outside in the garden and listen to some Vivaldi. But I love my rock and metal and punk. It's a well-known fact. Look at me. What do you think? So, if we're playing a rock gig, you kind of have to match sort of the energy in the room. So you're going to be playing like... It's loud and it's like boom, there's so much going on, okay? And that might be the way the song goes, and that will match it. So the dynamics will be, you're going to be playing louder and you're going to be matching that high intensity kind of feel, okay? A bad example would be if I were to sort of play the same song in the same gig, but I was going... I mean, I could be playing the same drum beat, okay? So... playing the same thing, but unless you're really bringing it up and bringing it down, it's not going to work, okay? On that same note, you might want to play a song that's full of energy, but if you just play it at that one tone the whole way through the song, it's going to get kind of boring, and it's not really telling a story, okay? Now I know this is proper artsy-fartsy thing for me to say, but music really does tell a story. All songs have some kind of progression. There's arguments for left, right and centre, but I truly believe that good proper songs have a story, have a narrative. They go somewhere, okay? Like if you start a song and just go boom, 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 right to the end, it's kind of boring. But some songs like dum, 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 and they'll build up a big chorus, and there'll be a big chorus, and then there'll be another kind of fast verse, and another huge chorus, and then it'll bring it down to a softer verse. And that softer verse will build up to a bridge, and it'll get slightly bigger, and it'll be a pre-chorus, we're building it up, and then the chorus at the end is just boom, you play it a couple of times, and it's just told this kind of roller coaster of emotions and of song and storytelling, and that's kind of what dynamics are best used for, okay? So, what I want you to do is, when you're practicing any of your drums, especially if you're practicing along the music, which hopefully a lot of you guys are doing now, I want you to try and play and match the tone of the song, okay? It's one thing us being able to go the whole way through the song. That's half the battle, because if you can't do that, you're rubbish. Okay? No, you're not rubbish, but you're not at the level that we're going to be doing dynamics at, right? I'm sure you could all play the whole way through a song. Be it a 30-second song, be it a 5-minute song. I'm sure you can play the whole way through it, okay? But if you're going to just play that the whole way through, it's going to be kind of boring. Alright? So you're going to want to try and start it off. You can see it kind of like every now and then you bring in something louder. So you've got your verse and you've got your build up and then you've got your chorus. So do you understand what I'm saying? You've got your different kind of dynamic levels going up and down. Okay? But mostly we're going to practice one last thing on the snare drum. Okay, stick with me. So everyone has a metronome. Doesn't matter if you have it on your drum or if you have it on a separate thing or on a phone or whatever. Get yourself a metronome. We're going to try and play a simple thing. We're going to put it at 90 BPM, okay? And you're going to let that play along. And we're just going to do single strokes on any kind of drum you want, okay? And we're going to start it at one speed at 8th notes. So... just like that. what we want to do is we want to try and get it louder and softer, but we don't want to speed up, okay? So like this. So. Okay, so you're ringing up and down, dynamics up and down, but you're not speeding up or slowing down. Okay, so let's whack it up here. Wow, all the way to 130. Here we go now. 130, yeah! So you're gonna go. Then we're just going to get our first note to be louder. Just like that. Then you can get an and louder as well. See? Creating a rhythm. So a whole rhythm is created by just playing with the dynamics. So there we have it. That's a really good sort of a technique to get us going through and working further on dynamics, alright? So just set a BPM, just stick to it, do your quarter notes or eighth notes, or your 16th notes, whatever you prefer, and just try and keep them at the same level and the same tempo as the metronome. Get louder and softer, accent some different things, and use all the things that we've talked about in the last couple of weeks and try and mash them together, okay? Let's go. Have fun.